What's good? Honestly, man, it's really tough making videos without a camera monitor because my camera is a reasonable distance away from me right now. I can't really see if I'm in shot, if I'm in focus or not. Let's just hope the gods of Fujifilm will let it work. Anyways, I'm at Everton Park. I like coming here just to watch the sunset, clear my head, see the view. The video you watched in the intro was shot with the Fujifilm X-M5 using the TTArtisan 23mm F1.8 lens. You see, I put that lens on my Fujifilm X-M5 and I had it for a week straight. So 1 week of me with the same camera, the same lens, not switching my lens, not using my Sony A6700 at all, just to see what I could do with it, just to see if I could make something good with the lens, because I was, preparing for a review video. And I can tell you right now, this is not the review I wanted to make, because in 1 week of me using this camera and this lens combination, it reminded me of something that happened to me in 2012. So in the year 2012, I started learning how to be a mix engineer. For those of you who don't know, I am a pro-level mix and mastering engineer. It is actually my main skill. Photo and video used to be second, used to be like a hobby until recently I started taking it seriously. So I'm a mix and mastering engineer and I started in 2012. When I started, I had less than adequate equipment and tools to start with. I had an old HP Pavilion DV5. It was extremely incapable of running DAWs. It had an Intel Core 2 Duo and about 4 gigabytes of RAM, and I had a pair of headphones made by Philips. It was like a retro style Philips headphone, and that's all I had. So I had to grind, put in the work, and just go through the hours of trying to learn how to mix records, talking to producers and engineers and trying to get stems from them to see how I could make mixes work with the limited tools that I had. And fast forward 13 years later, here I am, a professional mix engineer who makes reasonable money from it and is rated top 2 mix engineers in the world, statistically speaking. If you've seen the title and thumbnail, you're probably thinking it's clickbait, but it's not. Actually, while I was using this lens, my mind was telling me I've got something limited. Obviously, it's a TTArtisan lens, the budget line, so it costs only 140 pounds, and I've got other lenses for my Sony. I've got the Sigma Primes, I've got Sigma 10 to 18. I mean, these are more premium lenses as compared to the budget line from companies like TTArtisans and Viltrox Airlines, right? So I just knew I had something that wasn't the best, so I had to take extra care and extra precautionary measures to just make sure that whatever pictures or videos I was coming up with had to make sense. And in the course of that, I made a video one day, and while I was trying to edit the video that I made with this lens, I realized that I could stretch my F-Log2 footage farther than what the CST or the color space transform offers me. When I tried it and it worked and the footage looked amazing, my mind was blown, because with my experience before now, when I'm using my Sony camera and my Sigma lenses, something in the back of my head just tells me, oh, you've got decent gear, so it's supposed to make sense, right? If you expose it properly, throw it in DaVinci Resolve, color space transform, and you're good. Add a lot to it, tweak the colors, whatever, increase saturation, nice S-curve. I'm in no way a colorist, but I have been learning in the past 2 years to grade my own videos for my own YouTube channel, right? But there are certain extents I never knew to go until I used this lens, and that feeling of having an inadequate tool forced me to try to get something really better than I normally would. And then I discovered that I could not only use this on the Fujifilm log profile, I could do this on my Sony S-Log3 as well. And the reason I said it changed my life, or it taught me a life lesson, is because anything can be taken from you. I could lose this camera today, I could lose all of my equipment tonight, but the knowledge that I have gained will never go away. And I think I only learned something so valuable because I felt like I had a restricted tool, or I actually had a tool that is not as sharp as my other lenses, not as fast as my other lenses, it's not as, accurate as my other lenses. I'm not the kind of person to make YouTube reviews where I'm doing side-by-side comparisons of lenses and showing you the corner sharpness or comparing. I have the Fuji 23mm f2 lens, I would do a side-by-side comparison, but I'm not very keen on doing that. I might do it later on, but what I can show you and talk to you about is my real-life usage of the lens and tell you how it works in real life, how it performs. This video you're watching right now is filmed on the Fujifilm X-M5 still with the TTArtisan 23mm f1.8, the X-mount version obviously, and this lens goes for £140. It was sent to me by TTArtisans to use and make a review for it. I wasn't paid to say anything positive or asked to advertise the lens. It was just to use it and tell us what you think, and that's what I'm doing right now. Like I said, the video in the intro was made with this lens, and I took so many pictures during the week with this lens that I'll throw up on screen right now. When you look at the build quality of the lens, it reflects its price. It's £140 compared to all the other lenses of the same focal length. I think this has got to be the cheapest that you can find. And the build quality is not cheap at all. The build quality does not feel cheap, although you can tell it's not as heavy as the other lenses, but it's decent. There's some parts that are plastic, and the focus ring is, I think it's metal, because it's really hard and scratchy when you touch it. The lens cap is plastic, and you can feel the wobble sometimes when it's in a bag or you're moving around. You can hear the clickety-clack, but it doesn't bother me too much. It has a 52mm filter thread size, which I can use the same filter from my Viltrox on this one, and I have an adapter that converts the 52mm to 43, so I can use it on my Fujifilm 23 f2 as well. So with the filter thread size, I am very happy with that. With the build quality, I am very happy with that. And talking about the image quality of the TTArtisan 23mm lens, which is the most important thing, to be honest, at 1.8 it is not as sharp as my Fuji lens, but it is not a noticeable difference. You'd only tell this difference if you compare it side by side. The Fuji lens has a lot more contrast to it. Not a lot more, but like a little more contrast to it. The blacks are darker and the midtones are more punchy than it is on the TTArtisan. The TTArtisan kind of gives a vintage feel. It's like when you buy the old Soviet lenses and they have swirly bokeh, they have a soft look to it. That's the vibe the TTArtisan lens gives, and in my opinion, I have absolutely no problem with that. If I would spend money on the eBay to buy old lenses to get a certain look, why not spend even less money on a lens like this one to get that look? Stuff that I can always manipulate in post. And like I said, it's nothing bad. It's just, I'm only saying this for the sake of telling you what it's like. When I'm holding the camera, I'm behind the camera, I can control autofocus. Obviously, I can touch the screen to select the subject. This is going to be the ultimate autofocus test right now because I'm sitting a reasonable distance away from the camera. I have absolutely no idea if this whole video is in focus, but the autofocus while I was making those clips of little things in my yard was pretty decent. It moves in a stuttery way. It doesn't move smoothly like the Fujifilm lenses moves or even the Viltrox. You can see the jump back and forth when you're using this lens, but it's not a problem for me. With photos, absolutely no complaints. With videos, you might see that there are better lenses, but for the price, I have nothing to worry about with this lens. I know you've probably heard me say everything is in the middle, or the build quality is decent, the autofocus is decent, the image quality is decent, and I'm not saying it's really good or I'm not saying it's bad. I'm actually just being honest. The best thing about this lens is the price. Like I said before, compared to its competitors, this is the best for the money that you can get. And the one bad thing that I can say is the reason I won't be using this lens as much as the Fuji counterpart is the glare. So if the sun was really up right now and any level of light comes into the lens, it glares like crazy. So there's lens flare, there's it washes out the image, especially when you're wide open. Otherwise, if you are aware of the glare, the lens glare, you just need to not face the light sources and you'll be fine. If you stop it down to f2.8, you get even better performance. So at f2 on this lens and f2 with my Fujifilm, the difference is not so crazy. But specs aside, the main message of this video was to tell you that when you spend so much money on expensive equipment, there's a tendency that you lean onto those things and believe they're supposed to do the work for you. And that's never the case. Your gear will not make you improve. I'm actually so surprised that at my level of video making, I'm just learning something new right now about F-Log2 or log profiles in general, and seeing the limits that I can push stuff to before they get torn apart. I never even dared to try because I just felt like everything was all right. But this lens has taught me a lesson, and it's never leaving me. All my videos moving forward will look significantly better than they ever did. If you're going to buy this lens, there's an affiliate link in the description. If you buy the lens from that link, the price remains the same for you, but I get a little commission off of that. So if you do that for me, I would deeply appreciate it. And if you're starting out with video or photos, or even if you're a professional and you just need something of this focal length and you're looking for reviews to see if you should buy it or not, I'm saying absolutely make that purchase. It's a decent lens. It's good for that money. You will not regret that. Of course, there's a Sigma 23 that, in my opinion, is going to be the best that you can find. There are Zeiss lenses, but I think the Zeiss for X mount is from 35, not a 23. And there's a 25 from TTArtisan as well that I haven't used. There's also the 25 from Viltrox, which in terms of sharpness might come out better, but it's not as wide as this lens, and also costs more money than this TTArtisan lens. Yo, it's really windy out here. I'm just gonna end the video right here and head to the gym. But if you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see another video that I made something similar talking about the Viltrox 35mm f1.7 Air series, click on the link on this side of the screen, and I'll see you in that video. Drop a like, drop a subscribe. Tell me in the comments if you have this lens, if you've tried it. Tell me what you think, and yeah, I'll catch you. Bye.